Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave division rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now. Let's talk about something that's been buzzing around NFL circles and has massive implications for the Commanders. Rumors are swirling that the Cleveland Browns might be willing to part ways with one of their most disruptive defenders, Myles Garrett. And if this trade goes down, it could be a game changer for Washington. Yes, Garrett, the premier edge rusher, might soon be wearing the burgundy and gold. It's a bold move, but one that could reshape the entire NFC East landscape. Sources like Adam Schefter and other insiders have hinted that the Browns, currently sitting at a 4-12 record and deep in a rebuild, are looking to cash in on Garrett's value. Why? Well, Cleveland's financial situation is tight, with around $15 million in cap space, and they're prioritizing extensions for their young talent, especially Deshaun Watson, as well as a rebuild on the defensive line. Browns are also dealing with a defense that's giving up nearly 29 points per game, not exactly what they need if they're aiming for a turnaround. Garrett, at just 30 years old, is one of the most feared pass rushers in the league. In 2025, up to September 15th, he's already racked up 12 tackles, 3 sacks, and has a PFF grade of 89. 5 overall, with a pass rush grade of 92. One he's been credited with a pressure EPA of -0. 35 and has forced 5 fumbles, showcasing his ability to turn the tide of a game. Over his career, Garrett has amassed a staggering 98 sacks, over 350 tackles, and more than 200 pressures, along with 75 tackles for loss. His injury history is relatively clean, having missed just 1 game in 2025. The Browns, in essence, are looking to leverage his value, reminiscent of the trade that sent J.J. Watt to the Cardinals in 2023, which boosted their pass rush significantly by adding 150 pressures overall. For Cleveland, this move makes strategic sense. With the cap crunch, they're looking to free up around $25 million by trading Garrett, which they believe will allow them to focus on developing their young defensive line and rebuilding the team from the ground up. They're also investing heavily in their future, and moving Garrett now, before his contract escalates further, aligns with their long-term plan. But what does this mean for the Commanders? Well, if Washington manages to land Garrett, it would be an absolute game changer for their defense, especially considering the current state of their pass rush. Last season, after Chase Young went down with injury, the pass rush was noticeably weaker, and this year, after Montez Sweat's injury, the pressure on the quarterback has been inconsistent at best. The team has been relying on players like James Smith-Williams and some role players, but they haven't been able to generate the kind of pressure that wins games in the NFL. Adding Garrett would instantly elevate the Commanders' defense to a new level. We're talking about a player who projects to deliver around 15 sacks in the upcoming season, a total that would rival some of the best pass rushers in the league. His presence would also boost internal pressure. Think about how much more effective a front featuring Garrett, with his ability to collapse the pocket, would be in making life miserable for quarterbacks. The addition of a player of his caliber would also help the defense improve their turnover creation, a crucial element that the Commanders have been missing. And it's not just about individual stats. Garrett's presence would open up opportunities for other pass rushers and create more one-on-one matchups for the likes of Chase Young, if he's still with the team, or even rookies stepping up. His ability to draw double teams would free up others, leading to more sacks, more pressures, and more turnovers. The defense, which has been decent but not elite, could suddenly become a true threat. From a strategic standpoint, this move would shift the NFC East's balance of power. The Commanders could go from having a decent defense to a top-tier unit capable of neutralizing some of the league's most potent offenses. Their points allowed could drop from around 24 to 18 per game, a significant improvement, and that would make them much more competitive in close games. Imagine the impact of a defense with Garrett rushing the passer on 3rd down. It could be the difference between losing tight games and winning them. This move could also have a ripple effect in the league, especially in how teams approach the Commanders. Opposing offenses would have to account for Garrett's presence, which could open up opportunities for the secondary and create more turnovers, similar to how Khalil Mack's addition to the Chargers boosted their interception numbers by over 12%. The Commanders would become a more unpredictable and dangerous team, especially in high-stakes matchups. Now let's talk about the Super Bowl implications. If the Commanders manage to acquire Garrett, their odds of making a deep playoff run would skyrocket. Currently, their Super Bowl odds are around plus 12-0, which is pretty long, considering their potential. But if Garrett joins the squad, betting markets could see those odds fall to around plus 4-500. That's a massive shift, comparable to what happened when Max Crosby joined the Raiders or Nick Bosa boosted the 49ers defensive line. The impact on their win probability in simulations would be around plus 14%, especially in key matchups against divisional rivals like the Eagles. The NFC East is already one of the most competitive divisions in the NFL, with the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants all vying for supremacy. Adding Garrett to the Commanders' defense would give Washington a real shot at not just competing but dominating. It would turn their defense into a titanic force capable of shutting down the league's best offenses, leading to more wins, more playoff appearances, and maybe, just maybe, a shot at another Super Bowl. Of course, trading for a player like Garrett isn't without its risks or costs. The Browns would be demanding a hefty price, possibly a first-round pick in 2026 and a third-round pick in 2027. That's a significant investment, but for a player of Garrett's caliber, it might be worth it. The Commanders would have to weigh whether giving up those picks aligns with their long-term plans, but if it results in a championship-caliber defense, it could be the move that pushes them over the edge. In terms of the team's overall outlook, this potential trade fits into the broader strategy of building a competitive, elite defense around their young quarterback and talented skill players. The Commanders have been steadily improving, but to take that next step and truly contend, they need that extra push, that game-changing talent that can anchor the pass rush and create chaos on the field. Garrett could be that guy. Imagine a front seven with Montez Sweat, Chase Young if he's still around, and Myles Garrett. That's a nightmare for any offensive line. The pressure they'd generate would be relentless, forcing turnovers and setting up the offense with short fields. The offense, led by their promising young quarterback, would thrive with more possessions and better field position. The synergy between a dominant defense and an efficient offense is what championship teams are built on, and Garrett's arrival could be the catalyst for that. Of course, this is all speculation for now, and nothing is guaranteed. But the NFL landscape is constantly shifting, and big trades like this have happened before. The Commanders have been quietly building their roster, and acquiring Garrett would send a clear message. They're all in on contention, and they're ready to do whatever it takes to bring a Super Bowl back to DC. So, if this deal materializes, it would be one of the most significant moves of the offseason. It would instantly elevate the Commanders' defense, improve their chances in the NFC, and set the stage for a potential deep playoff run. The NFC East might see a new king in Washington, especially if Garrett's impact is as big as many believe it could be. This is the type of move that could define a franchise's future and turn a good team into a championship contender. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think the Commanders should go all in on acquiring Myles Garrett? Would you be willing to give up those picks for a chance at a dominant pass rush and a shot at the Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. This could be the move that transforms everything, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds. Keep supporting your team, stay passionate, and let's keep the faith that brighter days are ahead for the Commanders.